Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.
Hi, I'm Cherry Johnson with Watauga County Arts Council, and it's kind of becoming a tradition as the leaves start to fade and we all go into the fall and then into the winter. Then something called FADE comes out of the woodwork and we get to hear about it. And so I'm back with the folks from FADE this year, which stands for Fall Appalachian Dance Ensemble.
That is correct.
Okay, now this is Sharon Price, and before I forget names, this is Emily Smart and Natasha Small. I did it.
That's correct.
Good. I just met Emily, well, I have met Emily before, but the first time I'd met Natasha, so I wanted to make sure I got their names correct this time. And Sharon, you are... What is your role with FADE?
My role with FADE, actually, Emily Daughtridge is the person who's in charge of, as the director of the FADE program this year. My role is I'm in the choreography class with Emily this year. And so we've had lots of works being performed over the course of the whole semester, you know. And so, and I've been, you know, along with Emily Daughtridge and other students in the class, been looking at other people's works in the classroom, Natasha's work, and other choreographers who are choreographing on the show's work, and giving feedback on that. So that's my job, as not overseeing, but just looking, and give some feedback on it, and they're welcome to take our advice about it, or take their own.
So you're helping to shape the concept.
Yes.
Okay, and FADE. The purpose of FADE is what?
It's the concert that we've always this is our fall dance concert, and so it gives our students an opportunity to perform, and so that's one thing and choreograph. So that's really important to us at Appalachian. That the students have a voice as well as faculty having a voice as well, and in their creative process. So this gives them a chance to show their work. A lot of them either have done something on the first year showcase, and some people, like Natasha, is her first time actually choreographing. She's been a performer with some of the other concerts here at Appalachian, but it's her first time actually choreographing. So we go through a whole audition process, and we select the dancers, the choreographers who will be choreographing the work. So we have a choreography audition, and then we'll have a dancers audition as well too. And so these choreographers will then select the dancers they want to use in their works.
So then they get to choose which dancers they're working with. Okay. Now, when the actual event happens, what do you do then? I mean, do you just basically stand back and let it all happen, or how does this work?
We go into the theater, like Emily Daughtridge's job. As she goes into the theater with the students, we go in and make sure lighting and things like that are going well. Make sure the production itself is running on the timeline that it should. And what works will go first, and making sure the tech happens correctly, the lights and everything, and costume, everything's in perfect order, so that it is a smooth show.
That's great. Now, before I ask the girls about their part of this production, the date and time are?
The date and time of it is November the 21st through the 23rd, and it's at 7:30. Right. And it's over in the Schaefer Theater.
Okay, and are the tickets?
Ticket prices are $8, and for general admission, it is actually $15.
$15, which is pretty standard, yeah. Okay, and this is, where'd you say it's happening?
It's at the Schaefer Theater.
At the Schaefer, okay. And so that's a big venue.
Yes.
That's a lot to work with.
It is, and for some of our students, it's the first time they perform on a really big stage.
It truly is.
The Schaefer's, been renovated, and it's a new space now, and so I think it's a wonderful opportunity for our dancers to get a chance to showcase their work.
That really is.
On a large stage, even though we love our stage, it's a different space to do it in that space. So,
it sure is.
Yeah.
Now, Emily, you've choreographed before. You did it with the freshman or the first year showcase.
Yeah.
And so, how does this feel comparatively? Are you feeling like a pro?
Yeah, I mean, it's a totally different experience. I mean, for this show, I got to choose between all sophomores to seniors. And so I had a huge group of people to choose from, and even the stage is enormous compared to the stage that I was working with with the last show. So it's a completely different experience.
How many dancers are you working with?
I have 6 this time.
All right. And did you create this piece?
I did.
What is it about?
It is, I've taken principles in science and development and have created kind of a life cycle, I guess, kind of an abstract life cycle of 6 creatures.
Ooh.
That's actually the title of the piece, Creatures.
Uh-huh.
And so it's sort of like interactions between different
Now,
creatures.
is there costuming that goes with this?
Of course.
And so did you design all that too?
Yeah, we have a costume department.
Oh, good.
Through the theater department
That works.
at ASU, and so we pull from our costume, from the costume stock that we have, and they make alterations and stuff like that. So I tweaked some of the stuff that we had in there.
That's really
to be
cool.
what I
So you
wanted.
can envision it and then actually see it come to life right in front of you.
Yeah.
So that is really, really neat. What a great experience. And so now you're a senior, so you're going to be going on to do this as a career?
Yeah, hopefully.
That's great. That's great. What do you think you'll be doing after you graduate? What's the first thing you're going to try to do?
Oh, I don't know. I want to teach dance and choreograph.
Okay.
Maybe start my own company.
You want to be Sharon all over again?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Natasha, you're a junior, and so this is your first experience with choreographing, or doing it on a more professional level. I bet you've done it some in the past.
Yeah, for smaller things. Yes.
So what did you get to do? How many dancers are you working with? What happened?
I have 5 dancers, and I went through the same process as Emily, got to choose my own dancers. It's been really fun. As my first time, I feel like there are definitely things I could do differently next time, but it's been really great.
Everything's a learning process.
Yeah.
We're always improving. So even if you did it really well this time, there's always something else.
Yeah.
Now, what is your piece?
It's entitled "They Still Call Me by Your Name," and it's sort of about friendships and strong connections, and how they can alter and change, and sort of just how they develop and grow.
And you're conveying that through dance.
So it's more of a narrative. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, is there a voiceover or anything like that?
No,
So
it's just
strictly by the dance. How interesting. So, and you created this piece all on your own as
Yes.
well. Now, is there a background behind this piece? Is there something that you're,
Yeah, it is. Personal things and also things that I've just seen in the lives of other people. So
That's really cool.
Yeah, something
And how
I feel
about yours?
strongly.
Why'd you come up with that topic?
I don't really know. I mean, I've always really liked science and life sciences and stuff
Right.
like that. And my mom's actually a microbiologist. So
It's genetic.
yeah. So I grew up learning about science, and I just think it's really cool. And so I thought it would be an interesting way to be creative and also like bring out my science.
And Mom's going to
background.
come see this, right?
Of course she is.
This is great. Well, you know what I think is fascinating, and I think a lot of people don't gather about, especially dance, even more than theater, is that it is a lot more than just moving around and, pretty motion. It is a whole lot more than that. And the stories that you're actually conveying, the communication that you're conveying, is a different language almost, but it's one that everybody understands.
Right.
And that's really kind of cool.
It's a visual language, and I think teaching style informed classes, I always tell my students, that it's nice to be inform yourself by looking at dance. Sometimes they think of it as being this weird thing, it's like
especially
but no,
modern dance.
Yeah, but it's more of a like exploratory kind of thing. We're exploring lots of different things about ourselves as well as our surroundings. And I think that's a really cool thing. I think we do it when we're young. Then all of a sudden, by the time we get older, we make decisions like, nah, that's not weird. It's weird now. But I think it's always great to be able to still explore.
Do you feel like that dance did that back in, let's say, the older days when it was more like specific dances that people learned and produced and did, that modern dance is a whole different thing? Am I wrong? Am I off base there?
I think it has especially in the issue of postmodern dance, it's changed a lot, and people were, somewhat breaking away from what was the traditional thing, which is ballet.
Right.
And so then it went into modern dance, and then people were breaking away from, what we might consider as modern dance, like Martha Graham and,
Right.
other people, Isadora Duncan, and so now they're moving more so into, trying to find their own way of expressing themselves. So, and you'll see that too. There are other people on our concert who are performing too.
Right.
We have Lurie Atkins, who's one of our faculty members.
Right.
Alex Smith, who's one of an adjunct faculty member with us as well too, and Regina James, who is our ballet person who's full-time in our department too, who also choreographs and works on there. And there's at least 2 more student works as well too.
There's 3 more.
Yeah, 3 more. Can you name the other people that are performing?
We have Rashay Mackey, Bethany Gillette, and Hadia Wharton.
Okay.
All right.
So it's a big concert. And
It is.
And I think it's a variety of different things that people can find in watching a concert, that they're going to find things that they like, maybe things that they may dislike. Well, I'm hoping they find everything that they like in it, or, and I always tell my students to find something that you like in everything that you see,
Right.
because I think there's a joy of finding something that, I like that part of it, because as being creative people as we do dance, we always going to find something that we like and maybe want to experiment with next time ourselves.
And with a production like this, where you've got so many different choreographers, so many different dances going on, there's bound to be something that speaks to you.
Exactly.
In this performance, even if not everything does. So I think
Exactly.
it'll be a really, really wonderful experience. So thank you all for coming and joining me today, and thank you for what you're doing to make our world even more special. I think Watauga County is sometimes we take the university setting for granted, and sometimes we don't even appreciate it. And so, to recognize that you're bringing things to our community that might not have been here at all had it not been for the presence of you students and the university and the faculty. So thank you for what you do to help enhance our community.
And thank you for having us.
Thank you. Check our website, watauga-arts.org, for information about these and a whole lot more.
Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.